Okay, here we go. Like this creativity Kickstarter 2020 project. We had to use, our prompts were red, oil paint, palette knife, floral, and citrusol, but I don't have any citrusol, so I'm going with, I have a palette knife and I have oil paints and I have red. So what I am doing is I'm making a little journal book. I make these little journals and I'm going to do that real quick. And what I did was I took my paper, cut them, folded them in half. There's about 10 in each one, and they do have a floral. There's my floral. There's my red. Um, and I'm going to sew them onto a back piece and then build the book. These are my two side pieces. They're just cut out of a old piece of wood. And then I'm going to paint on a canvas, and I'm going to take it apart and use this canvas that I painted for the cover. So hopefully that's what we're going to do, and if I'm not out of tacky glue, that's what's fixing to happen right now. So I'm going to get some glue on here. I'm just going to spread some on there. I cut a piece of material, obviously, and a little piece of, it's cardboard is what it is here. And it's it's the back of the book. And that's what I'm going to use to sew my pages into. I used a template, and I'm going to sew these pieces into that. What I did was I took, and I've lost my paper towel, so I'm going to wipe my hand on my apron. Alright, so I made a template, and it has where my holes need to be. So here's my template. And what I'm going to do is take this, and what I did was just, these are some pieces of cardstock, some pieces of paper that I colored, painted with some alcohol ink and some watercolor, whatever. And then I'm going to make sure they're together. I'm going to take my piece here, and I'm going to line it up good. And I'm going to take this sharp tool, I'm just going to poke a hole all the way through. I'm going to do that on that one. I'm going to do it on all three. Four, there's actually four. So my book's going to end up having about, I guess 80 pages, truthfully. So now that I've cut holes, I have thread here. Or glue off to the side. I have thread. All this is embroidery thread. And I am going to, I'm going to go through the middle hole here. Sure I am. Once I get it lined back up again. Okay, I'm through the middle hole. And down here, I got to leave some, you have to leave some to tie. And then I'm going to try to get it through this middle one here. This is the fun part. So there's my middle one here. There we go, perfect. Okay, I'm going to pull this down to here. And it's kind of awkward. I probably should let this dry first, but it's not so big of a deal. So we'll pull it. So you can kind of see it's on here. And then I'm going to go to the hole up here at the top. And I'm going to poke it through here. I'm going to line it up with the top hole. Stick that through there. Pull it tight. And I'm going to take this thread and go right back up through the middle to here. And line it up to this hole on the back. Sure I am. As close as possible to it. Oop, I messed it all together. There we go. And then you take it, pull it, try not to get it all tangled up, because that does happen. What did I do? I did something crazy. Oh, it's all around the back. There it is. I was like, what the heck happened to my string? So it went down over that middle one. And then I'm going to come back on here on this side, and I'm going to go back up through the middle one. Through. Try not to go through the thread. That's the hard part, is make sure you don't go through the middle of the thread. Go through. Go back into the middle one carefully. Go back into the middle. And try to avoid this needle is actually sharper than I normally use. You want to be on either side of your middle piece. So see how my pull is tight? I'm going to tie it around. Tie it around. So that's our first one on there. That's the very first part of the book. And then I'll continue with these others, but I'm not going to make you watch me do that. I'm going to do the same process. Get these all in and thread the needle. Just like the others, I'm going to put my little template in here. Make sure it's straight. Poke my holes. Poke. Obviously I'm not precise. Okay, so I've got my holes poked. And I'm going to put this in the middle. Makes it a little easier once you get some going, because then it can just lay. See, use the other pieces on there. So there we go. A little bit, there we go, right through the middle. I gotta hold that thread so I don't lose it, because I did earlier. Alright. So we've got this piece on here, and then I'm going to go back down here through the bottom and stab myself in the finger, and through this one here. We got to get all the pages, make sure we got all the pages. Yes, we do. So that's in there, and then back through the top right here. Catch them all. Thought I poked a hole all the way through. Did I not? Yes, I did. I can see it on the back side. What am I hitting? I'm hitting something. I don't know what I was hitting, but anyway, we're all good. So, but I want to pull this a little tighter so I can see what I'm doing. Make sure I'm in the right spot. Look, and then I took it off. I'm trying not to get my head in the way. A little bit to the south. Come up this way a little bit more. Okay. All right. In. Right back up through the middle. Sure that thread's on that side. I'm gonna get right here. Make sure I don't pick that other, stab that other thread, because that causes a problem. All right, that's through. Right through there. Sure. Where does it want to go? Where did it? Oh, that's it. Of course, it took me 5 seconds to do it when I did it off camera. Now it's going to be like, all right, here we go. Put the thread on the right side. All right, here we go. That's the last one. So I've got a thread on either side. I'm going to pull it tight. Tie it, and that's basically the page is bound. Let me just trim this up here. Right. So I'm going to, there's basically the pages bound. So, whoop, and I'm throwing stuff everywhere. And they're a little bit crooked, but that's okay. Oh, whoop, we got some more paper on here. All right. So the next thing that happens to this, I'm going to put a little blue, but this will be part of the background. So that's basically it. These are bound, and I'll trim up some more of these little black. So what I'm going to do real quick first, though, I'm going to go ahead and do this. This will be interesting. I have never used the. I kind of do a little, line, pencil line, because that's going to be that'll be folded over. I probably should erase a bit of it. I'm not worried about it right now. So all I'm going to do, all I'm going to do is, let's see if this works out. So all I'm going to do is squeeze some paint out. Dog hair on there. Of course I do. Squeeze some. Ooh, that's kind of ooky. Maybe I should have mixed it first. Oh well. Oh well, y'all. It'll be alright. I'm going to use some blobs of paint. Blobs of paint. And then, I don't know. And then, told you I don't know what I'm doing. And this is red. Put some, ooh, just kind of mush it around a little bit too. So there's some there. Push it around there. You know, doesn't this look like fun? No. I've never, ever, ever, ever even, ever done anything with oil paints, but obviously they're oily, right? We'll see how this works out. If it doesn't, it's not a big deal, because it's just going to be the cover of my book. So I got a palette knife, and what I thought that I would do is maybe, I'm not sure, let's see, it around a little bit. Really, because the back will be covered. Okay, so let's do. Where's my rags? Let me get a rag. All right. Okay, so no clue, folks. All right. So now I'm gonna take the white. Can we go this way with it? Just kind of, maybe. Okay. So let's go with the red this way. Pretty red. It all. What way should we do this one now? Do this one this way, I guess. And just kind of get kind of ugly abstract. It's just abstract. All right. Kind of what we did was we just kind of made it kind of abstract. That's okay. It'll be okay. Be different. Maybe that'll be the back of the book. Let's try. Let's see. Let's see. But I need more paint. I'm going to go ahead and mash my white up here too. Can you tell I have no clue what I'm doing? I like it better. great, but it's oils, and I think it'll be an okay book cover. And that'll be it until this dries, and then we'll start over again. Wonderful. I think it'll make a pretty nice book cover, actually. So, and I've never, ever, ever in my life used oils, and I have it everywhere now, so I don't even know. Does it come out of clothes? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. All right, let's go ahead and get this finished up. I've had to wait a long, 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 long time for the canvas to dry enough to, to me it still feels sticky, but we're going to live with it. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to put a piece of this underneath and just flip this upside down. All right, so I put this all together, glued the back. I went ahead and put my little pieces of wood together and just kind of duct tape a piece in there. This is not normally how I do it, but this will work for this. So what I'm going to do real quick before we get into the cover is I'm going to go ahead and place this in here, and I'm going to use just this Aleene's tacky glue or whatever. It's her glue. I'm going to glue it pretty good. And I'm going to, I guess I decided what was in it. All right, so really, honestly, it doesn't matter which is the front and which is the back. So I didn't go into it that big of a deal. So I'm going to line it up inside the back. And I'm not gluing these little edges down. You see, these are not glued down yet. But I just want to make sure this is in here. Kind of how, centered how I want it to be. And I'm just going to, so now that that's glued down in there, I'm going to close these up and see if it's okay. And then I'm going to put a clip on it just to keep it down inside there against that back till we get ready. Maybe. All right. So now, what I thought was I need to take this off here. Of course, I don't have a tool. So, and I really don't want to use my X-Acto, so to tear it, to pull out these things. But this should give us enough of an edge, so I'm just going to take my X-Acto whoop, and cut myself. No, take my X-Acto and just run it down the side so I can remove it. Nothing pretty because I'm going to trim it up with my scissors. I just want it off this frame. And I will probably save the frame for something, maybe. I don't know. Basically just kind of, and I may have already cut, no. So basically I just want to cut this off of here. There we go. In the corners where it's folded, I probably need to cut a little extra. So I'm just going to cut it off this frame. I'm actually going to save this frame for something. I don't know what yet, but for something. I'm going to turn this light on real quick. Alright, so this is going to be our cover for this little book. I actually need to trim it down a little bit. So I'm not gonna trim these edges here. I'm gonna trim the top edges, I think. I guess I need to measure how tall this is. So this little book is 4 1/4 about. So I'm gonna trim it down to, let me think, I need at least 1/4. I'm gonna make it about 5 inches. That should give me enough to fold over on either side and for it to stick. Okay, so let's go. Let's go 5 inches on either side of, I'll mark it. So I want to make sure I get enough of the color on there. So let's go 5 inches here. Let's get a pencil. Sure we will. There's no, there we go. I'm losing eyeballs. Alright, so I'm going to mark this. Let's see. Let's go with here, and then here. should be enough on there, I think. If it's about right, I think it's going to be okay. I may go back and trim it. I just want to make sure I get it all, enough of this cover in here that it looks like it should. This is going to be the back. So, alright. And I don't mind if it's a little bit crooked because I'll straighten it out, but I definitely want this to be easier if I did it this way so I don't have to do math. Math is hard sometimes. Okay. So I want this to about, this is, if this was drier, if I felt like I could trust it, I'd put this thing down on it, but I'm afraid to. Well, let's see. Let's just see. What we'll do is lay this piece on top. Lay this piece on here. That's not going to help me. That will. Here we go. Alright. That's going to give me a better idea. So that's where that is. Alright, I'm going to mark this here. I'm going to mark this. Okay, mark this here. Let's see if that's about right. Let's see if that comes out too. So I do want it pretty close to being outward. Okay. Alright, I'm giving up on the paper. It ain't going to work. So let's just go across here and figure out where I'm going to cut it at. Just whatever pieces look pretty. This is like a total judgment call. I want this to be, I want to get the most of the design, what there is of it on there. Yes, I didn't plan this out very well, did I? Alright, I'm just going to go across here. Okay, and then we'll take our 5 inches from there. Look at that. See what we got. Yep. I really don't care if it's crooked. I just want to make sure I got enough of an edge over either side. Alright, let's cut it. Ah, here we go. Okay, so now I am laying with that thing just in case. Alright. Alright. So what I'm gonna do now is dry it quick. I wanna make sure I got the middle. Let's see, I think that'll be just fine. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to do let's see, how's this going to look? Okay, alright, now I'm going to go back in with this glue right here. Spread it around. Sure I am. Use my fingers. Let's use a palette knife. Look at, here we go with the palette knife again. I want it to make sure it really sticks well to this. I'm not real worried about gluing the very back part of it. But I want this to stick here. I don't know why this is so hard to get out of this stupid thing. it's not supposed to be with this new improved model. Alright, so let's kind of come right to this edge here. Basically. Just want to put it pretty. I'd like to do more, but this glue is just not spreading for some reason. It may be cold in here, maybe why too. Alright, so I'm going to take this. Alright, my battery died, so I had to go back and my battery died anyway. So I did the same process on the other side, and I'm going to just stick this down. Sure I am. I'm going to stick it down on here. Stick it right down on there. Make sure it's okay. I'm going to hold it. Looks like it's going to be okay. So now that I've got this stuck in here, I don't know why this one's a little bit loose, but I will fix it. Oh, it's my string's a little bit loose. Okay, I can fix that. Alright, I'm going to clip this together here, so just so it's out of my way. I'm going to take these corners. I'm going to cut this corner right there. I'm going to cut this corner at an angle as well. I'm going to do the same over here. It's not perfect, but that didn't cut very good. Alright. I just don't want all this excess bulky in my corners. Alright. Here again, we're going to take the glue. And I'm going to do each of these edges first and get them stuck. I still got to cut an end piece, but alright. I'm going to pull this over here. And pull it down. Okay. Make sure. And I need a piece of this too. To get through because it doesn't look, it needs to be held down good. Alright, maybe if I stick a clip. Me and these clippies, we're good friends. Me and the clippies are good friends. Well, maybe not. I don't think I have to. Alright, so let's do this. I had some trouble. Batteries, discs full, what have you. Anyway, I cut the corners and glued all these edges down. Glued this part here down somewhat, so you can see we've got this little book. So I went ahead and cut some pieces for end papers, and what I didn't take into account was the thickness of this board when I cut the canvas up. So this is pretty short here, and I may end up trimming it with something else, but for right now I'm going to continue on like I normally would, and then we'll go from there. Because see, actually this is the front. This is the cover I like the best for the front. So anyway, doesn't matter. So for the sake of the project, we're just going to finish it up here. And I'm going to put glue. Lots of glue. I'm going to use my little doodad here and spread it around. And I probably should have done this piece of board other way around. I didn't think about it when I did it, but it's like, oh well. Oh, use your fingers. It's working better. Anyway, I'm just going to spread glue all over here. This is not perfect because I kind of just threw it together, but it's alright. It's a little junk journal anyway, so it doesn't matter. I just want to make sure that my edges stay down for my paper. So, alright. So here is my ed papers right here. I'm going to get it down that there. Basically. Down there real good. I'll take a piece of this paper here because it will keep it from sticking to the my other pieces of paper. Touched it. All right, so I'm gonna go with this that way. I'm gonna go in this round. I want that to stay down. I guess I could have left it up, but anyway, I want this same process over here. Glue, glue, glue. Lots of glue. I'm going to start this around here. And the reason that I'm going to glue it, I'm going to close it and do it because actually when it's closed, it takes up more, it kind of stretches it out further. When it's open, you kind of have a gap. So if you glue it open when you go to shut it, you might have a problem and pieces will pull apart. So we always glue it when it's closed. And that's basically, what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this piece again. Same kind of piece that I used on the other one. Line it up on the edges here. And there. So it covers my rough edges basically. To some extent. Make sure it sticks through there. And we're going to put a piece of this in here. Same thing we did. Let me open this a little bit. Right under there. Close the book. Take it off. And actually, I'm not going to clip it. I'm going to put something with a little bit of weight on it, I think. Just to hold it closed. How about a cup? And then what we'll do is we'll leave that set. And then we will come back and open it up and show you how it looks finished. I forgot to put a bookmark in there, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to try to stay in frame. I've noticed on some of my other videos I'm not in frame. Anyway, here's my little book, my little Kickstarter project. It's using the red, oil paints, what have you. I think everything that was on their little list, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's a fun little journal for whatever or anything or whatever. But anyway, I think it turned out pretty cute. And I look forward to seeing what our next project is. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoy. Thanks a lot.